Hey y'all, so it has been way too long, honestly. Like, oh, I have to record, I have to edit these episodes. I have a really exciting episode with Teresa Douglas that I need to tweak a little bit. So, with that said, welcome to Creatively Exposed, and this is just a spur of the moment episode. It's been a while. I'm still here. I'm still here. Anyway, Creatively Exposed is where we rehumanize the creative one episode at a time, and I have had a time. It feels like, anyway, let's start with the new moon because I'm over here like, what do I feel? Um it's a new moon in Cancer today. So if you're listening on the 17th of July, it is literally 2:29 p.m. And this evening, the new moon in Cancer is going to be a thing. And the astrologers that I follow are really stating to manifest some things before, Venus goes into retrograde. There's the north nodes that are changing. Um, for anyone who like knows what that is, it's a huge shift that's happening. And so it's a lot of how do we want to pioneer and nurture the things that we are trying to do. And as a creative entrepreneur myself, figuring out some things along the way, I think it doesn't hurt to write some things down, even if you're not with like the skies and shit. So that's where we're at with like the sky. And everything's a blur. What is the concept of time? Because it doesn't feel real. It's mid July. It literally just started last week to me. Um, and I am in the process of figuring out a whole bunch of what next kind of thing. It's always strange to kind of be in this continual cocoon of growth when all I've known is having the day job and following the ladder, and everything is very linear. And so living a non-linear life can be scary but also very exciting. There are times where it's like, am I really doing this right? Like, am I doing life right? And then there are other times it's like, yo, life is lit, and that's the highs and the lows and the side to sides, right? And so, what am I currently working on? What am I not currently working on might be the question. Working on a hybrid manuscript, so poetry, story, etc. Um, and then some additional ideas and projects. And before that, I really did disappear in June to now, because sometimes there's nothing to say when you're in waiting, when you're, becoming the mush that is the cocoon, right? Um and why fill out all that space? Oh, literally the new moon is now. So that's the Chani up. Um let this lush lunation and the emotions bubbling up reparent your inner child. So do with that what you will. And I think that's where I'm at. I have figured out a way to surrender. Let me not say that too loud. Um and things have unfolded as I allow myself to have the emotions go through me. Right? Sometimes, salmon swim upstream and a lot of them don't make it. And I think of that as I go through life. And shout out to the magical friends that remind me that as a writer, as a spiritual person, as a poet of the stars and of life, thinking if it is all already written, or even if it is not, and we are the authors of our life, why worry about the next step if regardless we're going to get to the path, journey, expansion? We're going to get to the top of the mountain one way or another. It doesn't matter if it's like a straight walk. Maybe you got to loop the loop around the mountain a couple of times, chill in a cave for a little while, and come back out and try again. Regardless, being stuck in not making a decision or waiting to figure out what is the right decision is a pause in progress, I would say. We don't always have to be moving at full speed to head where we're going, but we also don't really need to hit like a full stop. And sometimes we need to do that, right? But us putting ourselves in the full stop is where stagnation comes in. It's where we cramp our own style. We know how a story heads. We know we sometimes have the vision of maybe a painting or an idea of how it's going to start, but it doesn't usually end the same way. And what if life is a story? And so believing that I cannot make a wrong decision, but I can create a delay. And that has propelled me forward in trusting my capabilities to grow, evolve, expand, write the thing, do the thing, pitch the thing, and believe in me, which, I think a lot of us can relate around, what if they find out that I'm an imposter? And it's like, do you know how many imposters out there existing right now? Making all this money, doing all these things. Come on, y'all. So give whatever that thing that feels crazy is a chance. And then do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And I feel like that's what life is. It's a series of just learning how to fly even when you hit a tree, a wall. Sometimes there's some bruises, sometimes you gotta fix your wings. There is a lot of metaphors. I was working on a submission for one of my microchaps, and it is very butterfly coated. So this is what we're having, y'all. But sometimes there is the sitting in the cocoon and becoming the mush and unlearning so many things. And what is it that I think a lot about how hard it is for us to just be our original selves or become our original selves again. This is a series of tangents, but here we are. Like, why is it so hard to like ourselves? Why is it so hard to trust and believe in ourselves if at the end of the day, who are you carrying with you every single day? Self. And so, been thinking about that and processing it and things like that. And once it just finally hit me in the brain and the shondo that I can make no exact mistakes, right? It's more of a mistake to not move forward or to stop what I'm doing out of fear or out of feeling like survival is the only way instead of thriving, that shoot yourself out of flight. And this is just my journey, right? There are still things to entrepreneurship that feel surreal. It's weird as hell, and it's on you, and that can freak certain people out. It has freaked me out because I am accustomed to always having a safety cushion, and the shit's wild. That's what I'm gonna say. It is very wild. But I'm giving once I make it to a certain point, I'm like, all right, let's see if we get this far. How far can we get? What will come up? What will the universe surprise us with today? While doing the work, also moving out of our way. And it sounds cliche as hell until you figure out how to do it. And resources do come along. There's I don't know where it is. I think I have it somewhere. And I may have said this already, but like my therapist said, draw a line of what you feel like your journey has looked like. And I definitely said this in another episode. And the journey has peaks, valleys, dips, round things. I think the last let me see. I'm at my desk, so I have my drawing. While I was stressed out here, I'd be stressed out. Yes, so it basically is feeling like at a fork on the road, and then you draw all of the roads and what they look like. Shout out to art therapy, y'all. Therapy. And the roads look crazy. I did some like circles, some lines, some all kinds of stuff, and they all lead somewhere. And that's it. They all lead somewhere. It's just choosing how you get there, or maybe with the energy and spirit and faith in which you get there, right? I don't got none of this figured out, but today I'm allowing myself to be in union, in harmony with the flow, the current of the things. That don't mean there's no boulders. That doesn't mean there's whirlpools. That doesn't mean none of that. But I'm gonna just chill in this life canoe and see where it goes. And if I don't like the road that I'm in, when have I not learned that I can go somewhere else? And so maybe this speaks to you. Hopefully, with this new moon in Cancer, I'm gonna write down some things. I need clarity on a couple of things. And I'm claiming some things. So bring that journal out, do some writing, have a moment to self, take a nap if you need to. I don't know about you. I know a few of my friends feel the Cancer energy a lot. And so, people want to sleep, take a nap. You don't have to do it today, but I do think, by like Thursday, write something down and watch that shit get real, like how Erykah Badu say. And when it feels too rough, like things are just too difficult, what happens if you release the reins and let your spirit team or whoever you believe in, even if it's yourself, just allow trust to be a thing? You may have led yourself down a couple of raggedy situations, but are you that same self? And even if you are, give yourself a chance. So, I have promised to post this interview. I am still working on it, y'all, because sometimes I don't even have the bandwidth, to be quite honest. But it's coming. It is coming. And stay tuned. I also am gonna put some of the classes that I have going on. I guess church announcements or whatnot. I have intro to sci-fi and fantasy class that starts July 29. That's 6 weeks, so if you listen to this a little bit later, you could still join in and get all of the slides. I have an Afrofuturism class August 9th, if I'm not mistaken. Healing through writing, I believe it's either July or August. And check me out. This Thursday, I'll actually be celebrating the new book launch for Sana Sana Anthology, which I'm really excited about. And that is that. That is that. I'm going to work on some other things. But yes, do not forget that you are magic. No te olvides que eres magia. Pas oublier où c'est magique. I will see you next time, and hopefully with that interview. Shout out, y'all.